This is Beer here. We got our boy Klinger and Max as well, showing off Klinger's eighth place Vegeks profile that happened last weekend at the Booster Box Regional, the online regional. But yeah, without further ado, go ahead, Klinger.
Yeah. So hey, what's up, guys? How's everyone doing tonight? So we played Vegeks. Well, I guess I just did. Nobody else did. But I've just been kind of having fun with that new promos that it just recently got, and I've been taking some games off my friends. So I figured why not have a little fun and see what RNG can do for us. So yeah, it came out in 2020. If you don't remember, it was errated to burst three on both sides. Front side says burst three, draw one. Back side said draw one, burst three. Give your unison double strike. Um, that's that's it, except for the fact that you can also not get milled out if you have 20 in your drop. So you just shuffle it all back in and you go again. In fact, that's crucial to the game plan. Um, so Vegex package here, we got the old school stuff. Kai, 10k combo if you have five or less in your hand. Free play when you mill it. Usually I like the Z, it's free. It's free Z energy early game. Trunks take up to one life. It's a blocker. Pretty good for being aggressive or just protecting your unison. Also free play when you mill it. Another free play when you mill it is 19k Vegeta. It does have the pay two to, I think it's a four or less, three or less, and warp it, but that never comes up unless you really have nothing else to do.
It has a
He's
permanent
also,
too, right?
yes, it does. Yes, it does. Uh, so if it gets removed, it would be sent to the warp instead. So, uh, yeah, if you wanted to pay comfort cost, for example, for the evil Saiyan, I guess you can't do that, even though
Why
it's sending
can't
it to
you?
the warp.
It goes to the warp. Why wouldn't it?
That's that's what I wasn't quite sure of either.
It
So
goes to the warp. You're sending it to the warp. Where else is it going but to the warp?
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it would
that's an
work.
interesting question because I mean they called me out on it on the when I was playing my
But it's
match
going
and
to the
on
warp.
stream, but
You're paying the cost successfully, so I think that works. What you
yeah,
can't do is combo it. If you combo it, it goes to the warp,
right,
guaranteed.
right. You cannot combo that, but usually you're trying to just get rid of them anyway with the new fusions. So it does have unique as well, which is the only thing that's any of these. There's no limit, nothing, just unique on this guy. That's like the only thing that's holding me back, and the blocker as well. But that's the only thing that's holding me back from just playing everything. Is
Mm-hmm.
sometimes if you see the same copy. And then next we have an actual cantrip searcher that you can play. This will find you any. There's no energy cost on what it finds you. It just has to be black, either a Trunk Xeno or Vegeta Xeno or a Vegex Xeno. So no energy restriction on that. It's super awesome. Super combos, fusion pieces, your fusion themselves. Just three of those guys. Four is probably too many, and it's definitely the best cantrip for the deck. So three feels pretty good. Um, so one of the first two of the new promos is another mill target. You can only do him once. He is a limit one, unfortunately, but when you mill him, you can discard a card to play him and then draw a card. That's all he does, except for he also has a counter attack, which burst two, which is pretty good that it bursts, but it has spirit boost one, and you got to pay one to negate the attack. So the spirit boost on it is kind of rough, but the burst two is definitely appealing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever used that once, but I was maybe going to. And the next up is why we're playing the deck here is the new Vegex 7 drop. All in all, he bursts 7, warps a card, and draws a card. And he takes a Vegeta and a Trunks um, to go into Patara. So you burst 3 Patara and then burst 4, draw a card, and warp 1. He also has dual attack if you Spirit Boost 1. Yet again, the Spirit Boost part, it's like I understand it's probably for the if you're playing the Unison that came out with the deck, you can free play Unison and then you can just Spirit Boost off of it for free as well.
Swing again. That makes sense.
But it's just like they didn't need to have Spirit Boost. There's no benefit to having Spirit Boost, so I don't know why they gave it that, except to just hold it back a little bit maybe. Um, the reason why I'm not running those Unisons is I run Z deck Unisons for these counterplays, which are kind of the only thing keeping Black alive, if you ask me. I know we got a Trunks player up in here, which can't play these, but you know, uh, I think I mean, it's amazing for this deck too because it's a Vegeta Xeno, which is great because the struggle of the deck is just finding Vegetas that you free play. So this is one of them. That way you can Patara because you got Trunkses. I mean, you usually see. I mean, you got twice as many Trunkses that you can play for free. So off the milling. So you definitely need to find a Vegeta. It's also Goku, which is relevant too. But yeah, warps to 5 or less. Burst 2, love that. Z Charge 1, love that. Being Leader, love that. Can't go wrong with that card. If that card ever gets hit, yeah, Black might be dead. I don't know. Thoughts?
I think it's fair. I think it's a good
Next
card.
up is just a little combo attack. I know this is a Panzino staple. So if you don't know what this card is yet, maybe you haven't played too many games against Black, but
Or Red Vegeta.
or Red Vegeta. Yep, definitely. Mr. Vegeta over here. Got to correct me on that. So it's got Overwhelm 4. And you're looking to do that either like right away or like right post shuffle. That's why I'm saying like the burst 7 is fantastic because then you can just reset your deck and then look for an overwhelm because you can't really overwhelm once you're like 15. If you're committed over 10 cards in the drop already, it's going to get pretty sketchy. There
Yeah,
are
for
ways to
your
get
overwhelm, sorry to
yeah.
interrupt. Was it hard to balance keeping the number of cards in your drop versus warp to abuse the Vegeks effect?
Which the 7? Oh, the
I
leader,
mean,
the
the
leader
Sparking
permanent.
20 for the Vegeks permit, yes.
Yeah, I mean there are definitely times where you got to count it and you got to. I like to just count deck, count drop, and then see if it's naturally going to be there for you. Otherwise, you got to start comboing. Because I mean, the games that are hardest to do that are probably like the ones where you're winning so much and like they can't remove your field. So it's just all you got like 15 cards represented in your board state, and then you all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I'm not at 20. This is going to be bad. So I would say because like this puts one back also. So if you can get that burst or that overwhelm 4 perfect number and then put one back in the combo or get it back from the warp into play because it combos when it attacks from the warp, like that. There's a unison that also puts it back, and then the Z extra can put 3 back as well. So those are definitely the 3 ways to do that. Um, all in all, it's not too difficult though. I mean, but you just like I said, you can't commit to an overwhelm of like 10 or more unless you're going for game. Goku and Vegeta make Vegito. He cost 1 to play. He is a double striker that stands at the end of turn, has barrier and blocker. And he also bursts 2 at the end, that's my favorite part for sure. But it's just a way to get these overwhelms useful, these counterplays useful, and there's even a Z card that can help you go into this as well. So another reason why we need more Vegetas to be free played is this guy here. Big threat right there. Next threat is Cumber. Barrier removal is awesome, so why not? And then I was running this at a 3-up and then 3 of these Trunkses. We'll talk more about those in a second, but it definitely needs to be 4 because there were a couple times in the tournament where I was really hoping I had one in my drop or warp. If you can get one in your warp with the Chi-Li Unison, that's kind of a neat little trick. That way you know you can have it later for when you reshuffle everything and then you draw into one. You want to store one for later, essentially. Now we got these 2 Trunks. This is kind of just like filler plays. Sometimes if you're not doing very well with your bursts, you won't have anything to do. So this is something I found. You can just pay 1, draw a card, and burst 2, and it's a 20k. It doesn't do the auto for pan, but
Who
maybe you get
cares?
lucky at the burst. It's
Yeah.
just it's not a bad card. 20k draw a card attacker. But it's not amazing either. So
Yeah, it's a Trunks for
just
Vegex.
and it's a Trunks, but finding the Trunks is not the problem. If this was a
Mm-hmm.
Vegeta, I'd probably put that at a
Yeah,
4 up.
yeah.
Next is of course the Overwhelm for Black. Bardock Floodgate.
Best card in the
Um,
game. Best card in red
Best card in red indeed.
and white.
Yeah, limits the opponent to 1 battle card attack for the next turn. So pretty busted. I played 1 on turn 3. I felt good. Next up is Power Burst. This is hopefully to keep your unison alive mostly, or to Turbo Awaken if you need to be really aggressive. Add a 1 drop back from your drop or warp to hand. Sparking 5. 2 Petrification, of course. You're Black. You like to negate skills. Good card, I'd say.
Best counter in the game next to Hajiak.
Yeah, I mean it's like a Mafuba, but different. But for 1 less, right?
Yeah.
Next up is 2 Super Kamehamehas for the Floodgate, battle card Floodgates that you do have to be a 4 less life for this to work, and there are some decks where you don't need this to match up, so definitely my most cited card on the weekend. And then super combos are Vegeta, of course. Bottom deck 1, draw 2. It's a Vegeta, so you can find that off of your cantrip that we talked about earlier that I have a 3 of. Max, you were saying that you had another idea for the super combo, correct?
Yeah, I was thinking about the Trunks super combo that was made for the deck, the Sparking one. Just because you do tend to stay at a pretty high life total into somewhat of a slower black deck, I would say. So I would prefer to play the Trunks, I think, just so we can always have a super combo ready to go since we do burst a lot.
And it's a Trunks, so it doesn't change
Correct.
with the cantrip at all. So I would agree. I mean, it's going to stink maybe if you get your reshuffle on your kill turn, but getting 5 in the drop isn't too hard, especially if you're doing well and you have like 10, 12 cards in hand.
Why not run a split?
You definitely could, but I think Max's call is correct. I think that there are about, the mid game for you is probably like, turn 2 to turn 4. And that's when you're looking for that. If you're doing well, you're going to reshuffle maybe on turn 3 at the earliest.
And I guess the Trunks is a 10k combo no matter what life total, even
no matter what.
Correct. Yeah, you might miss out the
worst
draw,
case
but
is still the same.
Yeah.
I'm trying to kill my opponents, so I'd rather have the 10k at all times.
That's also fair.
That's a good change. I would do that. And then lastly is Evil Saiyan, of course.
Well, we're all shocked.
I was thinking of something else because I have a Unison. I could cheese with the Vegito that has triple strike. Discard, is it 2 or 3? Is it 3? Discard 3?
Warp 3 from hand, burst 3. I'm pretty sure.
Warp 3 from hand, and then burst 3. I mean, there's something there too.
It's kind of adorable.
Restand it. Yeah, it's cute. People wouldn't see it coming.
For your counter package, the petrification, did that come up a lot? Because I know a lot of players, at least in black, are moving away from petrification, at least in the main deck, just because they're more focused on we have to kill them now because there's not enough time to keep energy up and use this card.
Right. No, I can see that, and that was discussed. I was talking with my friend Novin. He's another guy that's been testing this deck.
Great guy.
He was at that point too, and he plays a lot of black. So
yeah,
maybe I just don't play enough black, but I also see I'm looking not necessarily to negate an auto that's pending, but like as a 2-for-1 negate. Like if they ever miss sequence where they have 2 attackers out that are in active mode, okay, well there's I can get out of both of those for 1. Yeah, exactly, like a Rinsu or something. I think there's plenty of applications in almost every matchup that I don't think I would want to side it out. At least keep it at 1.
That's valid.
All right, and now the Z deck, which we alluded to earlier, playing 3 Chilai Unison. So this guy has an uptick to look at top 3 and just put 1 in the drop, which will trigger them to free play, which is just feels a little broken when you're hitting them, And then it's also a Z Unison for the counterplay.
Was there ever a time you went into a third Chile?
Oh, almost every single game, dude.
Really?
That's actually kind of fire.
Yeah, I like to. It's turn 4, turn 5. That's when I'm looking to go into this other guy here, this Vegito here, and then he's also another way to put cards back from your warp into your drop, which is great.
And he draws.
It's only 2. It draws a card. So and it actually can gain double strike off your leader. Chile can't stack, so it having a 15k double strike is whatever, but
can come up.
It can definitely, especially killing attacking into unisons is probably when it's the best, right? Yeah. Here's a nice little Goku target for our Pataras, or just generic removal. I chose to go with both of that instead of 1 Boo. You need the same amount of Z energy for either one, so I figured might as well just play 2 that I can actually use, because I don't think a Boo ever really gets to block. Anyway.
No, not anymore these days. He's
Very
usually a goner.
Yeah, so just stuck with 2 of those. Played 1 every other game, I'd say, so definitely worth having. A Gohan, another barrier removal if you really need it. I think I went and do it once or twice. I mean, it's a good card to have. I usually have a Chilai out there, so at least it's, was it plus 15 for every? No, plus 5 for every, right? It would be plus 15, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be 50.
Because, So, 30k double, remove a barrier card. That's not bad. There are, like I said, if there are turns where you sometimes just, I know in testing, I once tapped 4 for Chilai Unison just because I literally had nothing else to do and he was kept on killing it and he wasn't a swing it at me. So Like there are turns if you get bad mills, you just kind of have to have energy plays to be efficient. And then the Z extra here, this is what I'm talking about, where the free one it can put 3 back, or I mean they're both free in black, but the big one also warps a 5 or less
Comes in clutch.
in combat. So very clutch. Yeah, I think I used both effects throughout the tournament. And then lastly is the triple attacker Vegito. Got him off one time, which is and when it works really good. So I was thinking about maybe the Demigo Unison, just to get like a wormhole going on, or just maybe potentially a stickier Unison. I mean, 20k two markers versus a 3 marker 5k. I don't know, kind of same difference, but I'm glad I had this. It won me a game, so why not? That's good call. Your counterplays are overwhelms, so that will enable this to be just a 2 cost. I think that's like the underrated like OP part of the counterplays, that it's also an overwhelm. That's the main deck. So a couple black staples maybe you noticed that aren't there. SGR and Crack, they're in the sideboard. When I took out Super Kamehameha is usually when I put these in, or kind of mix and match how I felt. There's no real rhyme or reason
I'm assuming
sometimes.
more against green, you'd be siding in the SGR and Crack as, like, let's be real here. What Super Commander is
Definitely.
only hitting Bubo, which who cares, and Oceanus, which
Right.
who cares.
Yeah, red too. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Topo could be a thing, but
Who cares? Like,
yeah, I guess it's people are doing it, but hopefully they're not able to feel comfortable doing that anyway.
yeah.
I mean, I know I wouldn't if I was at 4 life. I'd be like, oh, tap out just to die. And then we got Heavenly Wizards, Sandman, Vegetos, mirror matches a little bit, but mostly just for Sandman. Let's be honest here.
Yep.
Remove the barrier guy.
And the odd Nova.
Protector of people. Sided that in a lot too. Rinsu's definitely a matchup where you're looking for that. Red Vegeta, other aggressive stuff. Black Power Mass Saiyan, pretty good card. Played against Tien, came in clutch. He only made his 3 tokens when he awakened, and that was it. So, that kind of definitely shut down that matchup. Got a Koitsukai, a couple of them. It's in color, so might as well. When Koitsukai's good. And then we have the only other playable Vegeta, essentially, is this guy that punishes cards for untapping one. Thought about this for Rinsu or other just generically blue decks. I put it in. It came up. It taking a life actually was the best part. But
is the auto say sane only or sane?
Shield Leader card's a black Saiyan card.
Oh, it's broken. The card's nuts.
He's already cooking up ideas.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's the sideboard. I'd say I used every card in there except for I didn't play against the Saiyaman, so I didn't use Demigro, but I used them all. Yeah, and you got to keep the deck list a little low. It can't be like old Vegeks where maybe it was 60. I don't know or 58, but like you want to get to that reshuffle ASAP so you can actually use your Bardock Overrealm or do a name Overrealm if you don't draw it early game.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And how are your matchups though?
Yeah, so I actually do. I remembered what I got here. First round was a Beerus Ramp, which it's kind of a funny that we played the night before and you were thinking about playing it. I'm like, here, let me give you a tough matchup, and if you lose, don't play it. So I ironically had testing, but it's not like you need any testing. You just kind of go face, right? You don't have any other choices. And then not quite sure the rest of the order, but the TN I was telling you about earlier. Once I cleared his tokens, then I played BMS, and he was kind of left with the tough spot of what to remove. Played against Blue Bojack round 3 or 4. A Green Zamasu. I knew the guy too, and then he turned on his camera. It was Green Zamasu, and I was like, yes. It's like and he was a little upset, but hey, he beat me in the finals a couple regionals ago, so we're even.
Oh, you faced AJ.
Yeah.
Got to get your lick back.
Yeah. It wasn't for a gold card this time, unfortunately, but it was funny. Interesting matchup. I can't clear his stuff. He can't mill me, so it's not 100% win, but it's nice. And then we played against a Yellow Slug round 5. That one's on stream if you want to watch. Did make a little whoopsie daisy with forgetting to tap 1 for my Pitara on turn 2, but I don't. I mean, it didn't matter. I ended with the energy up anyway and used it for a power burst without even thinking. So, it's a card I could have just done anyway for free. So a whoopsie, I guess. Didn't really know the matchup,
Read
but
your cards, read your board.
read your card. Yeah, I mean, it can happen to anyone, honestly. But yeah, no, we talked about it afterwards. It's all good. I lost, so. uh, and then we played, I think, a Panzino after that. That one was, it's a aggressive versus aggressive. I felt like I kind of had the edge just because I know he gets like 2 overwhelms with the Bird Unison, but I also get a lot of attacks and swings too. So I felt like I was getting more better value in that game. And then lastly, an Android 21 got him down to 1 life, and then he secret reared me, and the rest was history pretty much. He beat me after that. So yeah, it was
you lost to Grady.
Yeah, the guy got second place. So I lost to first place and second place after
That's not too bad.
Swiss. Yeah, so that's how I squeezed in a spot ahead of you.
Ah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool though. Oh, so other than that, like, do you think this deck's a Nats contender after playing in a regional?
I would respect it, but I wouldn't take it. It's RNG dependent for sure, and then it's also not doing anything too crazy.
Right.
There are times where you're like, oh yeah, I do have like 10 cards out here. It feels like in the board state, like your opponent's like, are you sure you can do all this? It's like, yeah, none of this has limit. I'm taking the unique pieces, I'm putting them under my Patara.
And we just keep
The new
pushing.
promos have limit, just to keep it clear, but the old stuff does not. So that part is kind of funny. I don't think limit existed quite yet. So there are games where it feels like an absolute steamroll and you're high rolling, and I mean that's kind of what Black Vegeks has always done, right? But yeah, no, it's a good deck. I think it can beat a lot of it's not going to lose to everything, but you could do well with it. But I'm not going to bring it at. So
That's fair. That's fair.
wouldn't be surprised if you see 1 or 2 there, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean it's always been a strong aggressive deck, and the ability to be immune to mill decks is a really big boon.
Especially with Zamasu on the rise right now too,
Yeah.
and with blue meta and yellow.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
yeah, I mean, it just kind of goes to show that I think Bandai knows what they're doing with these promos, and Slug is another example that just won. I mean, they're making promos, and these decks are good, man. I mean,
is it the return
crazy
of
meta
Green
right
tanks?
now. I I don't know if they did that 100% correct. They can't hit 100, right?
Right. That's true. That's true. Yeah, Max, do you have any questions?
Not really. Cover most of the matchups. I would ask, what was the most difficult matchup? I'd say.
I think obviously my losses were Slug on 21, so it's going to be one of those. Slug was a little mix of me not knowing exactly what he's doing. I knew he was going to be aggressive. I didn't go into my Chile Unison like my normal game plan right away. If I had that, then counterplaying his 5-drop would be really useful. But I'm going to say like Android 21, it felt like a little unwinnable.
The one just shit in your cereal and there is no coming back.
Right. I mean, the moment he heals, and a little misplay probably because I gave him 4 cards to target. I was at 3, played something, and then passed, and then he did it. Maybe there was a slight window when I pushed him down to 1. It's just one I hadn't tested a whole lot, but it seems like I have lots of cards for him to tap,
That's
and there's not really a way to like go around that. I mean, I'm playing a Unison that can't attack.
No, for sure. Oh yeah, that's just free energy all day. Like
It's like a free cantrip or a free 1-drops. Like, do I even play that? Because then you can just use it. I mean, you got to do your math, but.
And then I imagine the floodgates in 21 are a lot more painful than the slug
Oh
one, for
yeah,
sure.
the
Can't
full
really
power
swing through
counter.
those, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
need
still
to
good.
swing with something with barrier, and I only have 1 card that has barrier
doesn't
to
even
do that.
matter.
Really? Oh, really?
Full power
Okay.
counter,
Well,
ignoring barrier gets rid of a card.
perfect.
Yep.
So yeah, it
You have to
and
rely
she
on your
shat on
Unison
it
and
there.
leader. Unison and leaders you only have.
Yeah, but you can't. You want to swing it? I mean, I can't swing with unison sometimes, and
You give the other one, you play the other one, give it
yeah,
double.
yeah, I give the other one. Yeah, there's definitely ways to play it better than I did, but uh, yeah, I think once a blue or yellow deck gets ground, it's going to be difficult.
Right, right. Which has always been the case for aggro versus control.
Right,
Um,
exactly.
how did it feel having very quick games for once?
Not all of them were that quick. I will say that,
Uh-huh.
but I do love my quick games and do some chores around the house, so my wife's not too upset with me. So,
That's pretty clutch. But yeah, any shout outs, call outs? I don't know.
uh, I mean, you guys, the rest of the team, just I told you guys to tell me to not play it, and nobody did. So I guess thanks.
I support my friends. I'm never gonna sit there and know if someone wanted to play Vegeks. I'm gonna be honest with
Very true. All right. Well, I
Yeah,
think
go
so.
check out the matchup against the champion Slug.
Great
Right,
player.
yeah, right before we went in, we are like, this is about to be the spiciest stream match all day. You did not expect these leaders. So this is a decent game. I had a shot. It's just I didn't quite have enough combo power. So
Mm,
it was close.
hell yeah. All right.
But yeah,
Well, I think that's that. Thank you all for tuning in, and till next time. Yeah.
peace out.
you. Appreciate you.